everybody. This is Arthur with Aday in Telos. And spring is here. Can you imagine that? Very short and shallow winter of snow this year. I wonder how it's going to be the next year. Maybe a drought or something? Well, we have a drought, water, food, plant expert. He used to be a farmer. Well, I guess he still is a farmer.
Gardener.
Oh, and forager. I had to think of those three words. Farmer, gardener, and forager. Now, what do you get when you're that way? Hopefully, not too fat. Hey, you know Pasquale. You people out there are always asking me, more of Paz. So here he is.
Right. Arthur,
Hey.
Always good to be. We're not supposed to shake hands, you know why? Laura was telling me why. Because that means this hand doesn't have a sword in it and you can trust me. Or the other thing is, may the last one in battle be the best one.
The one standing.
So it's best to shake hands with two hands. Come on.
Two hands.
Like
that?
Otherwise we'll short each other out.
Hey!
All right. Or just do a namaste. Yes.
What is you have out in the world for us today?
Wow.
So
everybody,
important.
well,
what's important?
I'm ready to go. Everybody here is a gardener. I've gardened with Holly. I've gardened with Alexis. Laura's a gardener. John's a gardener. John gave me seeds. He's a wildcrafter. I don't know, do you do gardening? No, okay. And this gentleman here, William, does work with rocks, rock gardens, and magic and energy. Yeah. And we just met, and I'm going to go out to his place and get zapped. Okay. So, gardener, farmer, forager. Where do we start? You're going to start on the last.
You know, does that look really edible to you guys?
Oh, Arthur.
Well, it's called sap.
No, it's called conifer blood.
What?
Our Holy Mother planet has this wonderful thing called water, and it's transformed by different plants into different things. And this is conifer blood, water. It's magic. And cherry blood and onion blood.
You said it's edible.
Oh, this is, the original gum comes from the gum from a conifer tree, and it can be different consistencies, really sticky and hard, or hard as a rock. And
I wasn't going to try any of that.
Well,
I still need my teeth.
Yeah, I know. Well, you don't need teeth to chew gum.
You suck on it mostly, right?
No, you chew it like a gum. If you get it off the tree at the right time, it's just like gum. It won't stick to your teeth. And you could add some herb to it, so it tastes like the herb. Like I walked around with some of this gum and some spearmint. It's maintained its flavor all day and the next day and the next day.
Ooh.
And it didn't cost anything other than
you never have to buy another piece
observation.
Of
Yeah. So
or take one off.
we're going to talk a little bit about who I am.
Well, everybody else.
Heck if I know who I am.
Comes and knows the forest. Is he the reborn Yule Gibbons?
Yule Gibbons. I know. I'm really remiss. I never read anything by Yule Gibbons until about 6 months ago, and I love him. Oh, he's great, especially his wild plants.
Ooh, yes. Very, very.
But people say, "Oh, you're just like Yule Gibbons." We were all different.
Different. Yeah.
He shaved his beard.
So what are we talking about today?
Today we're going to talk about the Traders Co-op. Oh my goodness.
Co-op.
The first Sunday of every month, there is a Traders Co-op in Mount Shasta at the Seed of Life Cafe, 414 Main Street. Yeah.
No, Mount Shasta.
Mount Shasta. And
Mount Shasta Boulevard.
the last Sunday I traded some seeds and herbs and some...
what is that?
These are cherries. These are from Michael Zanger. I got cherries, and I got grape juice, and I got apple juice, and I got these wonderful seeds from Raven, and I got these wonderful herbs from Francis Mangles, and I got these seeds from Star Michael up in Mount Shasta that he grew himself. He saved the seed himself.
Wow.
And oh,
have him on here with you.
yeah, oh, we will have him on here. He's great.
Oh,
Yeah, and then I traded for these little garlic.
Popcorn.
I know, this is garlic bulbettes, wild garlic. Well, here we go. Here,
Bets.
yeah, wild garlic. You see that? Take one bite of those. They're pretty.
Yeah.
They're potent. And this is the. Look at the size of this garlic. These were the big ones.
Woo.
Those are the lucky big ones.
Bulbs like that.
But the majority were small. There were probably no more than four to a garlic bulb.
I'm not
but,
gonna eat no more of
Yeah,
this.
these are pretty potent things.
Yeah.
This will kill and cure you of anything.
I give
So,
my first
so-
warning out. All you people out there helping me today, don't get close to me.
yeah, go ahead, get close to them.
That little piece of garlic just like blew me out.
Okay,
Whew.
and then we have, somebody asked me, they wanted to grow onion seeds. Well, it's real easy. You go to the natural food store, you buy an onion, you put it in the ground, it'll produce seeds. Simple as that. So I
That's
love
too
red,
simple, my friend.
I know, and I love these onions. They're called cipollini, and I know the people that grow them in Southern California. Their name is Koke, K-O-K-E. I know them from Mendocino County. They moved down south. These are very sweet, and they're very sweet onions. And of course, we're still eating apples from the tree and from my friend's backyard. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, oh, and this is new. This is a new one. Arthur, check this out. Grab one of these. Squeeze it in your fingers. Okay. And
Wow.
and then smell it. You smell
that's
garlic
a great
probably.
smell.
Yeah. It's very resinous, very, how would you say that word? Full of resin,
Resin.
but it's not a, I don't know the name of it. And I've seen it 3 times and it's always
All
when
right.
it's dormant.
I'm about ready to
There we
go
go.
to heaven.
I just ate one.
I'm going.
They're delicious. We'll pass them around later. Okay. I'm still learning.
What is it?
I don't know what it's called, but it's a tree. It's a bud off of a tree.
Oh, the bud off the tree.
The first time I saw it was in Etna on a creek on a plant walk with some friends. Second time I saw it was in Mount Shasta when I was changing my tires at the tire shop. There were some trees right there. The third time was at a friend's place. It was in his yard. I'm going like, who is this
Talking to
plant? It's a pretty strong plant.
Excuse me.
Yep.
All my guests, don't worry about the garlic. Something else just took away that smell.
Right on. Hey, if you want something even better, how about puncture vine?
Concubine?
Concubine. Puncture vine. You remember those? Goat heads. Anyway, that's for another time of year.
What is that?
But this is something from India.
Okay.
It's called dashmula. And one of the ingredients is called, it's 10 herbs. And I'm looking for the one that everybody recognizes. Look at this. Where is it? You're hiding. There it is. There it is. There it is. Here it is. What do you call that thing?
That's the thorn my dogs always get on
Yeah.
their feet.
And they puncture holes in your tires. And people swear that they hate them. And they're in everybody's, not in everybody's
I
garden,
don't know if I can get
but
that.
they're in somebody's garden every now and then, not in yours, luckily. But I pick them and I dry them
That's
before they.
terrible for
I
a
know,
paw and a dog.
and
Yeah.
it's a rejuvenator.
Oh.
It's a rejuvenator. It's called Goshuda in their language, in India, and here it's called, I don't know the Latin name, but puncture vine or goat head, and you can buy it at the 7-Eleven. It's called horny goat weed. It's
Horny goat weed.
it's an aphrodisiac, but when you combine it with the proper combination, it rejuvenates the whole body and covers all sorts of ailments. So that's that. And then my other favorite plant, which is, if you can see this beautiful, get a close-up of that. This is called Isatis tinctoria. And in China, it's called banlangen. And the root and the leaf have the same properties. They're antiviral, antifungal, antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, and they're edible. It's a mustard. I call it coffee mustard or chocolate mustard. It's a little bitter. You can grow accustomed to eating it. I cut it back in the early stages and I train it to be little florets. But across the whole continent, it's considered an invasive, noxious weed. It's called Marlahan mustard. Quick, eat something to get rid of that taste, Arthur. Woo! What do you need?
I need some water.
How about a little cherry juice? I wonder when I was going to open this up. To the rescue.
I don't mean to cry on you guys, but
There you go. Francis.
but for some reason
We have Michael to thank for that.
it was
Okay.
the last one, and I know it was.
So that's enough of that. I covered my favorite. Oh, one more favorite thing is there's four plants.
May I?
Can I have one? Let me have one. You can have some later when we. Wow.
Yeah, that's a lot better.
Save the pit. That's a cherry tree.
Pip.
So, the SEAC handbook.
SEAC.
I published this.
SEAC?
I republished this because the author says, please copy this and share it. So I do. In another form, a simpler form. There's 4 herbs in here that prevent and cure cancer. They're in your garden. I'm not going to name them. You can email me, whatever my email is. What is my email these days?
What is your email?
It's going to come up on the screen. There it is. herbsandseeds@yahoo.com. I'll email you all sorts of little booklets and lists and all sorts of great goodies. Okay. Wonderful book. Wonderful.
Oh, book there.
Ooh. Now we're getting down to my mentors.
Adam.
Going backwards. My parents. My genetic cultural heritage. This thing I walk around in, my vehicle, is a donkey. It's a Sicilian donkey. I have extreme endurance. I can outwork almost anybody. I figure I'm in my late 70s because I work since 1966 to today. I average 4 hours of sleep. I'm always working 24 hours a day, not counting a couple hours of meditation. But I don't know what happened. I lucked out in the gene pool. So I stay busy, and I love growing food and seeds and giving it away. And yes, also Alexis.
What are your books?
Oh yeah, we'll get to that. Alexis is here. Alexis and I, through the a little senior group, we called ourselves Garden to Garden. We put on several workshops through the Mount Shasta Resource Center. We had, you can look at that, Arthur. We had a nice workshop on growing plants for seeds. Imagine that. Plant those onions or squat. And then we had one wild plant gardening. This doesn't come out very good on the camera.
Was this Thursday?
Oh, this is already passed.
July 7th.
Urban Foraging 101. We had a lot of fun. A lot of people showed up.
Can we
I'm still getting people saying, "Hi, Paz, you remember me?" I'm getting senile. No. And we have one growing food in the kitchen. A dear friend on Sprouts.
Last one?
The last one. But I did one in Mount Shasta here in Weed. Okay. The Mount Shasta Resource Center bought 4 of the 15 books I suggest to get for their library. Very important books. You can borrow from them. Their address is 109 Lake Street. They're right downtown. So, Seed to Seed, a classic.
What? 109?
109 or 190 maybe. It's right behind
What's the street?
the main street in town.
Main Street.
Lake, you know.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
It's Main Street.
it's called Lake Street. What's it
Main
called?
Street.
It doesn't matter. We all know where it
It's
is.
Lake Street.
Get your book. Borrow a book. Seed to Seed, excellent book, classic. The chapter on squashes, they tell you the different species that will cross within each species, but they won't cross outside of their species. So I grew 3 squashes that did not cross on my friend Martin's place. Acorn squash, banana squash, and butternut squash don't cross. So I was able to grow them and save the seed. Whoa, that's dangerous. Seeds are wealth. Forget gold and silver.
Well,
They're
you
they're
can
not
eat
worth
gold,
anything.
but you have to break it down and all that good stuff.
When you have killed off all the buffalo, when you've taken the last fish from the river, when you've cut down all the trees, then I hope you can eat all your money. That's from a Mohawk elder talking to Theodore Roosevelt. I think she knew something.
Good for the Modoc.
One of my mentors, Grandma. Botany in a Day. On the internet, you can find it. Their website is 10 times the amount of information as in the book. Wonderful.
Wow.
Color photographs of plants. You can learn to identify plants without knowing their name. You can identify what family they're in. And then you can eat them. Foragers eat things. How to grow more vegetables. Oh my gosh, this book started out that thin. This is the 7th edition. I got all sorts of markers here. And it's got a great chapter on planting by the moon. You got to get a copy of that either from me or from the moon.
Plant.
I'm not going to try to explain it because I haven't got it memorized. It's time to plant. New moon is tomorrow. Sow seeds in your flats now. Your early hardy garden plants. And take it from there. You plant a seed, you're going to have to be there to gather the seed when it goes to seed. That's what Alan Chadwick taught me. He taught me, among other things, that I wasn't really a gardener, I was a forager. But I am still a gardener.
What does a forager actually do?
They're fond of...
buy anything, right? Or most of the time?
Well, you know, shopping at a grocery store is similar to foraging. You go up and down the aisles, you find what you're looking for, and you collect it. Foraging, you go out in the wild, go up and down the hills and the valleys. You're attracted to something by its goodness, its truth, and its beauty, absolute, divine. We're getting there slowly, but the plant kingdom has us beat, let me tell you. And they can do things we cannot even do. Look at this. A dead skeleton doesn't stink or smell. What time is it? Yeah, do anybody know the time? We're going that fast? Really? Wow, we're covering everything. So.
Going right along.
What? Oh, this over here, yeah. These are beautiful things. I'll get to Alan Chadwick next. Okay, these things here, you don't have to move the camera. I'll get it. These are 8 different size screens. Oh, there you go, there. You can make them yourself, but I bought mine. They're well made. They're from cedar and stainless steel screens. Different size mesh. You can see very, very fine to very, very wide open. Wherever that is there. Yeah. So, you know, beans and things you don't need a screen. But when you get down to things like basil, you're going to need these small screens. And every village in the county needs several people that have these in their shed, so we can be, and every village is going to be self-sufficient in the county. Come pretty soon. It'll all turn into gardens everywhere. Every golf course, every school, every yard, every empty lot, nothing but food. We are going to be self-sufficient in every village, probably across the whole world. We'll go back to living in a village, but we'll take our technology with us. Wonderful elder. Charlie Red Hawk Tom expresses it this way: walking backwards into the future. We're going to take the good stuff with us.
Walking backwards into the future?
Yeah, we're going to take...
All right.
Okay.
I don't know if I can walk backwards.
Yeah, it's easy. In the garden, you have to learn to walk backwards in the garden.
Learn backwards? Ah.
Yeah. So
you didn't quite get to this book.
Oh, Alan Chadwick. Yeah. Now, I learned from... If I had to recommend people to learn from, of course, my first teacher were my parents. My dad, his backyard were roses. One peach tree had 6 varieties, an orange tree, a couple different varieties, fig trees, walnut trees. I didn't learn enough from him. I was really remiss. But it's in my body, it's in my blood, it's in my code. Of course, the soul, who I really am, this is just the vehicle I'm wearing this time around. Who knows who I was before? I probably
Maybe you were the plant.
Let's see. I was a grass. I like grasses. Okay. So, people.
We'll make sure we plant you under the right grass.
In the compost pile. In the compost. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Something about something. More. Okay, Rudolf Steiner. I farmed 15 acres. I was really lucky. Some friends bought some land in Mendocino County, and they wanted someone to farm it, and they chose me. I didn't know anything about farming or gardening, but I learned real quickly.
They chose you.
And I fell in love with our Holy Mother planet. Oh my God. We are so lucky to be on this planet. Whew. Major planet. Okay. Her body is unbelievable. She divides herself up into cells. There's a main ridge line, and then there's a main water course. And in between that, there's these little valleys, and then there's these little ridges. And I lived on 40 acres with my family and some friends, and I learned all about Holy Mother planet from that 40 acres. I can go anywhere, and I'm always in the same place. It's amazing. The plants will change a little bit, the soil will change a little bit, but her design is always the same. Very easy to orient. And I learned that also from a wonderful person named P.A. Yeomans. He's an Australian. Permaculture has a lot to, permaculture is very popular these days, very wonderful movement, an approach to establishing the human back in nature and in the landscape. They're giving more credit to him and his work. He had 300 acres and he developed it into a paradise. Just get a shot of this little, if you can. This was an aerial photograph of his place in Australia. He had these. He turned marginal upland into prime agricultural land in 3 years. The myth about it takes 1,000 years, 2,000 to create soil, he did it in 3 years. And the way he did it was he would feed the microorganisms in the soil. He had a technique. All of his books are available free on the internet now. Oh my God, his son. The Challenge of Landscape, Water for Every Farm, City Forest, and I forget, the Keyline Approach. And you want to go to a website called Soil and Health. They have a library with with all of his books. His son, one of his sons put them up there. He developed a subsoiler that would lift and shake the soil and set it back down. Very similar to Alan Chadwick's French intensive biodynamic gardening, which is you do it by hand. You'd use a spade and a fork, you lift it, set it down, increase the volume of air, warmth, water retention, places for the roots. Both of them are similar. Yeoman was mechanical, based on observation of nature. Alan was manual, based on observations of nature. And then another mentor, besides Alan Chadwick, was and these four people are all, these three are contemporaries. Masanobu Fukuoka, the One Straw Revolution, he's called Do Nothing Farming. His approach came from observing and imitating nature. Alan's was that, so was P.A. Yeomans. Fukuoka, Alan, and Yeoman were all contemporaries. They never met physically, but they all had the same message from a different part of the planet. The energy of the times of the Mayan calendar, you might say, demanded that everyone tune back into our dear Holy Mother planet and start behaving properly in our relationship to her. So, another wonderful book. This is a student of Alan's. I lucked out. I was an apprentice of Alan's for a year, but I got sucked into the administration. But somebody, and I would be one of my responsibilities was to tape the lectures. Alan never wrote a book. He refused to. He refused to do a lot of things. He was an amazing individual. Stephen Crimmy, with a number of other individuals, got those tapes. He has an archive of maybe 500 tapes from Santa Cruz, Saratoga, and Covelo, and edited and published a number of the lectures. And his introduction, I publish as a handout, and people buy the book after getting the handout. And this one is hard to find. It's out of print. Alan Chadwick's Enchanted Garden. And the last part of the book explains the approach and technique as best can be explained because being with Alan, Alan's approach basically was, his one lecture covered everything he had to say. It was a lecture on observation, sensitivity, reverence, and obedience, and how the one flows into the other automatically. When you start observing, you withdraw and let things come to you and say something to you. Accurate observation. People think you're sensitive. Well, you're not. You're just observing. And then when you do get more of this sensitivity, you become very reverent and humble about what's really going on. And then you have no choice but to obey orders from the plant kingdom. They're in charge. They prepared the planet for us. We wouldn't be here without the plant kingdom. We'd be dead. We wouldn't be here. So, what else? One last thing. Someone just gave me this book, What Grows Here. I'm borrowing it. Michael, Star Michael. I haven't had a chance to look at it, but he highly recommended it. It's by a local person, and it talks about the different microclimates and everything. So here we are. Oh, wait a second. The last thing. Right here. This gets me in trouble a lot. There are no weeds. Sorry. All plants are edible, some more than others. Consume whatever you can stomach. Of course, some plants are deadly poisonous, some more than others. Know these better than all the rest? Absolutely, positively, in all their seasonal forms. Let the plants adopt you as their friend. Let them teach you what they know. Just shut up and listen. Go take a hike in the wild. Get lost in the hills. From dawn to dusk, as often as your situation allows, but never less than once a month, ideally once a week. Go alone, absolutely alone. No pets, no people. You can bring your cell phone, but turn it off. No one else, just you and your feet. Leave your head and your headaches behind. Move in a circle, zigzag through the landscape by attraction, end up where you started like a magnet, even if it is only from one empty city lot to the next and back again. You will be amazed what you can learn. Anyway, hey, we did it, Art. I think we covered everything.
We're going to go from here to the next show, which will be in a couple of weeks.
Seconds.
Hey.
Oh.
Thank you. Hey, this is Arthur with Aday and Telos, seen around the world on mctv15.org, Northbound Cable 15, and YouTube. It's spring now, and the new moon.
Yeah, tomorrow.